What up, movie lovers? Welcome back to the Apocaflix Movie News Show. Today is a special episode due to the fact that the 2016 Oscar nominees were announced this morning, and they're technically the 2015 nominations, but they're titled the 2016 Oscars, so it always confuses me. But anyways, I'm your host, Jacob Bartley, and I'm back again with my regulars, and we also have a special guest. Let me introduce Gio Ramos first. How you doing, man?
All right, maybe Captain America Civil War was a bit too low on my list.
What does this have to do with anything?
He's starting to rethink it.
Oh my goodness.
That's all I'm going to say.
Did it crack the top 10?
I think it did.
Oh, yeah.
And Jake Berlin, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk some Oscar noms. So
Yeah, and I'd like to introduce our very special guest, Christiane. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm so excited. It's my favorite time of the year, award season.
Mine too.
So happy to be
freaking
here.
Love it. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Well, most of you might have seen the Oscar nominations this morning, but before we get to that, we want to talk about a few things that happened this week, some unfortunate things, and that is the passing of David Bowie and Alan Rickman. Obviously, David Bowie, known for his music, but he starred in multiple roles throughout his career, and obviously Alan Rickman, from the Harry Potter movies, several other roles. He's been almost an icon in Hollywood. I want to throw it to you guys because I don't know much about both of these guys. I mean, I can't recall seeing any David Bowie movies, but I would have to go back and look. But Gio, what did the passing of these two guys mean to you?
David Bowie was very sad. I wasn't really as passionate for him as I was Alan Rickman, but still sad. I'll never forget his cameo in Zoolander. I don't know if you guys remember where he played the judge. That was pretty
Oh yeah,
fun.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's very sad. Alan Rickman, he's just been a big part of the movies that I've loved throughout my life. Obviously, Die Hard, Robin Hood, the Harry Potter films, Professor Snape. Like, arguably, he might be my favorite character in the Harry Potter franchise. A film I don't really talk about that much, but definitely sad. Both passed at the age of 69. Both died of cancer. It's guys, let's find a cure soon, please.
F cancer.
Like, yeah. So very sad.
Jake?
yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking. David Bowie, I mean, I think the one song that always stands out to me is Golden Years. It was in A Knight's Tale. I listened to it over and over and over again. Obviously, it is great cameos in a lot of great movies. Zoolander, I know he was in Labyrinth. He had a big role in that.
The Prestige.
That's
The
true.
Prestige was a great one. I know even James Gunn was talking about maybe bringing him into Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for a cameo.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But sad passing. And then obviously Alan Rickman. I mean, the guy has been a talented actor for so long. Obviously, Hans Gruber, Die Hard. Professor Snape from the Harry Potter saga, and the character he was there. I mean, so important to the entire story. And then, obviously, one that I love that a lot of people forget, Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
That's true.
His part in Galaxy Quest. It was actually on the other day. I got to watch it. I actually had no idea both of these men had cancer, which is very unfortunate. I was very shocked to hear their passing. Very sad day in Hollywood. I mean, two great men who had a lot of impact on the industry, and it's sad to see them go. So.
Christiane, I know you're a huge Harry Potter fan, so what did the passing of these two men mean to you?
Well, David Bowie, I loved so much. He had such an impact in not only music and cinema, but also the fashion world and
just pop culture in
pop
general.
culture.
Yeah.
He really opened the gates for a lot of people. I mean, Lady Gaga wouldn't be who Lady Gaga was. I wouldn't have that door open for her if David Bowie was not here.
A lot of artists would.
A lot of artists. Alan Rickman, man. It was rough this morning when I woke up. Severus Snape is my all-time favorite character of any movie series at all.
I don't blame you, but
he
that's
is so
just
important,
crazy, yeah.
and he really changed me. Like, I have a tattoo for Severus. He was such an important character to me and really shaped me, and J.K. Rowling really shaped me in my childhood. So just Snape was really important to me and absolutely devastating to lose him. devastating.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a sad week in Hollywood. You know, we lost 2 people who have meant a lot over the years. And, you know, it's not all sad, though. They're going to live forever through their music and through their movies. So rest in peace, David Bowie and Alan Rickman.
I think that it's safe to say that the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 mix will be full of David Bowie.
Yeah,
it's gonna be full of some David Bowie
incredible.
songs.
Well, let's move on to what we came here to talk about, which is the Oscar nominees for this year. There was a lot going on. We all had a lot of expectations, but they're officially in. And I gotta say, guys, I don't know if I like the summer blockbuster season or the Oscar season more, because I absolutely love the Oscar season. Like, to me, it's like I'm more excited to watch the Oscars than I am the Super Bowl. Like, it's crazy for me. Like, a lot of my friends, they love sports, and the Oscars are my Super Bowl.
Depends on the team that's in the Super Bowl.
That is very true.
Rams.
If the Niners are in the Super Bowl, then I might choose a Niners Super Bowl over a random Oscars. But, you know, anyways, so there's a lot of categories in the Oscars. For those of you who don't know, there's like over 20 categories, even more.
Yeah, and I think, if I'm correct, the show only does like 6 of them.
They don't even do all of them.
They do 6 of them during the show.
They have like a pre-show where they announce all the smaller ones, and then they I think they let you know throughout the show who won. Or
kind of after commercial breaks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, yeah.
So, but we don't have time, nor do we care that much about every single category.
Whoa.
But we're going to talk.
Well, it's true. I mean,
it's true.
you don't care about every single category.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, best foreign film, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So it's like.
I mean,
no offense.
Yeah, not at all. But we're going to talk about the major categories, and then, you know, if there's any other little things you guys want to talk about at the end, we'll go back to it. But we're pretty much going to run through, obviously, Best Picture, all 4 of the acting categories, both screenplay categories, animation, cinematography, visual effects, and best score. We're going to run down those, and then if there's anything else you guys want to talk about afterwards, we'll bring it up. So I'm going to start with the big one. I'm going to start with Best Picture.
Let's go for it.
So, nominated for Best Picture, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max Fury Road, Room, Spotlight, The Big Short, The Martian, and The Revenant. I'm going to ask you, Gio, what stands out to you as far as the Best Picture nominees? Is there a movie on there you don't think should be there? Is there a movie that didn't make the list that you think should be on there? What are you thinking, man?
I am so happy that Mad Max Fury Road got nominated for Best Picture. I don't think there was another film that had that big of an impact, even on its own genre, than Mad Max Fury Road. I'm so happy for that. It means so much for blockbuster films. I like The Revenant, Spotlight, The Martian, Bridge of Spies. I mean, Spielberg, sure. Coen Brothers, sure. I mean, the one I'm a little scratching my head about, and I did like this movie. I really did. And it's Room. Does it deserve to be on there over a film like Steve Jobs or Straight Outta Compton or a Beast of No Nation? I don't know about that. I mean, Brie Larson certainly carried that film, and the storytelling was pretty good. There were a couple hiccup moments, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen Brooklyn, but Room is the head scratcher. You know, it's just my own opinion. I would have liked to seen, I thought, Straight Outta Compton or maybe even Steve Jobs. I don't know. I felt like they kind of, they definitely got a lot right, but they got some, you know, questionable ones. So that's my take on it.
Jake, what stands out to you about these Best Picture nominees?
I'll go with you. I mean, I love seeing Mad Max on there. I think it's a great sign as to what maybe the Academy is starting to change their views on certain genre films and stuff. Mm-hmm. I love seeing that film on there. Yeah, maybe, I mean, for me, I enjoyed the film, and I just didn't expect it to be on there, I guess, but I know why. The Big Short maybe is, I wondered why maybe they was on there. Also, Bridge of Spies. I know that it's Spielberg and the Coen brothers, but I felt like the reviews and though, I mean, it wasn't as big as the other films that were out this year. I don't know.
Or as good.
Yeah, I think they're kind of relying on the names that are behind it. You know, Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, the Coen brothers. That's fine and all, but 2 films that stand out to me, I haven't seen it, but Carol is a big miss. It's been on a lot of people's radar.
A lot of buzz.
A lot of buzz.
I would have considered it a lock until these were announced.
And I haven't seen the film, which is
unfortunate.
I haven't seen it
either, but the way people talk about it.
Yeah. I think another one, Gio mentioned, but Steve Jobs is definitely a head scratcher. But I'll even throw in Creed.
Creed, yes. How did
I
miss
feel
that?
like Creed maybe should have been in there instead of Bridge of Spies because of the buzz and such positive word around that film. And the number can go up to 10. There's only 8, and they had 2 more spots available.
You're telling me there weren't 2 other films that were,
Yeah, so I mean, those are definitely the head scratchers. I would have loved to see Creed on there. I think Ryan Coogler did a phenomenal job with that film. I get that it's a sport boxing movie, blah blah blah, but it's one of the best films of the year, hands down.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the head scratcher for me, as well as why is Bridge of Spies on there. So
Yeah, no, those are definitely some good question marks. Were there any movies that you already said that weren't nominated that should have?
yeah, Creed. I think I haven't seen it. Carol, which
okay.
I'm looking forward to, which I think, like we said, I think it was a lock. And Steve Jobs, I know that maybe it didn't have as much.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised it's not on there.
Well, they pulled
either.
it from the release date because it wasn't making money, so maybe that's the reason why.
Okay.
But it had good reviews. It had great reviews.
Yeah.
So
Christiane, let me ask you, what stood out to you about these Oscar nominations for Best Picture?
Mad Max, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Join the club. The Martian, I was actually really surprised to
Really?
get a Best Picture nom.
Wow.
I loved it and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't expecting a Best Picture nom. I could do without The Big Short and Bridge of Spies for sure. I don't think that they're up to par with any of
With
these.
Best Picture.
Best Picture. I mean, I would have loved to see Inside Out in the Best Picture. I know that it's animated, but
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
A movie is a movie.
And
well,
a
yeah,
movie-
we've seen it before. So
And a movie
Toy Story
to
3,
like
Up,
reach
and The Beauty and the
across
Beast have been
such an
nominated.
age group like
Yeah.
Inside Out did, I think is just really rare and something that Pixar does really well. And I felt like that was a snub. I honestly thought Sicario might be
Yeah,
pushed
there's
in there
another one for me.
somewhere.
That's true.
that's
It
another
had a
one for
lot
me.
of buzz on there.
So much buzz. I thought that Sicario might. I mean, I would take out Big Short and put in Sicario within a second.
yeah,
But-
I'm with her on that one.
I mean, The Revenant, Spotlight, Room, Mad Max, Brooklyn. I haven't seen, but I hear great things, and it's next on my list to go see.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with a lot of things you guys said. I actually really like Bridge of Spies, but I don't think it belongs on this list at
So
all.
I think when we're considering, we're saying The Big Short and Bridge of Spies, they didn't have an impact, as much of an impact as the other
Yeah.
films did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, they were good, but you can't tell me that The Big Short had a bigger impact than Creed. Or The
Yeah,
Bridge of
no
Spies
way.
had a bigger impact than, say,
But
Steve Jobs.
the Academy voters
or-
do not care about mainstream
Yeah, it's just-
success or nationwide, stuff like that. So for me, I haven't seen Brooklyn yet, so I can't comment on that. But I really like The Martian, but I think there's other movies that could have been on this list, and I expected Mad Max Fury Road on there, and I'm not mad that it's on there. I'm actually a little bit happy that it's on there because it was a blockbuster. It's a blockbuster film, and so is The Martian, and that's the one thing I'm happy about The Martian being on there for, is that it's a blockbuster. But yeah, I kind of disagree with you, Gio. I think Room is a masterpiece. It might be the best movie on this list for me. It's between that and Spotlight, honestly. I think Room is incredible. I didn't have any expectations going into it other than hearing about Brie Larson's performance. And for me, the ending is a huge part of a movie for me, the way that a movie ends, and Room ended so strong. So I definitely think 100% it belongs on this list. But we got to talk about Inside Out. This is a disgrace that it's not on there, honestly. First of all, we talk about it all the time. The Academy Awards created the Best Animated category just so they could avoid putting animated movies into the Best Picture category and giving them the award.
Yeah.
I doubt we're ever going to see an animated movie win unless they take away the Best Animated category. Inside Out was critically one of the best 10 movies all year. Financially it did well. The fans love it. But it all comes down to the Academy voters, and I just think they're like, oh, it's a kid's movie. It's an animated film. It's going to win Best Animated Feature, so I don't need to vote for it. And that is completely wrong thinking. I want them to get rid of the Best Animated category, and then if a movie's worthy of being on Best Picture list, if it's animated, it should be on there. So that ticked me off a little bit.
Definitely.
And one more I got to talk about is Ex Machina.
Oh, dude, I'm with you.
So for me, arguably, it's between Room, Spotlight, and Ex Machina as the best movie of the year. Like, not my favorite, which we all know what my favorite is, Star Wars. But, Spotlight and Room and Ex Machina were the top 3 movies of the year. And Inside Out were the top 4 movies of the year for me. And it's another problem with the Academy voters. They don't want to nominate movies that came out earlier in the year. Like, they avoid nominating them. Like, Boyhood last year was the exception, but that was such a huge...
And Grand Budapest.
That's true, yeah. Grand Budapest was released earlier in the year last year.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and it's Boyhood. The way they made that movie is the reason why it was a phenomenon. But Inside Out and Ex Machina, huge snubs for me as far as the Best Picture nominees. And I'm fine with everything else. I would take out The Martian and Big Short and put in Inside Out and Ex Machina. So that goes for me. All right, well, let's move on to the Best Leading Actor category. And this is a really interesting one. I haven't seen one of these, but let's run them off. So we got Bryan Cranston in Trumbo. We got Eddie Redmayne in The Danish Girl. We got Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant. We got Matt Damon in The Martian and Michael Fassbender in Steve Jobs. Let's go to you, Jake. What stands out to you about this Best Leading Actor category?
Actually, nothing real. I mean, these are the 5 guys that I kind of expected.
Yeah.
It might be the most solid, list out of the whole bunch that we all expected it to be. It's the 5 that we knew. I've seen all the movies. All 5 of them did a phenomenal job in their respective roles. For me, Eddie Redmayne did a fantastic job in The Danish Girl. What he was able to do with that role, he captured something that's never been captured before on screen. And Matt Damon, he did a fantastic job in The Martian, but it's a 2-way race right now between Leo and Michael Fassbender. Fassbender is Steve Jobs. All the backlash. Oh, he looks nothing like Steve Jobs. Well, sure as hell acted like Steve Jobs. What he did with the role was just insane. He is that movie. If he isn't in that movie, there is no Steve Jobs movie. There was guys like Christian Bale, other guys like that attached, but I think Fassbender was a perfect choice for the role. And Leo, what he was able to do with The Revenant, what he had to go through, probably maybe one of his best performances ever. And a lot of people aren't thinking it's going to happen, but I have Leo right now as the leading guy in this category. I think that this is finally going to be his year. The Revenant got a ton of noms. He got the Golden Globe. I feel like the Academy is going to look at that performance and put it over the rest. I think Leo will finally get his Oscar this year. I'm hoping for him. Crossing my fingers.
Definitely. Christiane, what stands out to you about this category?
I agree with Jake. Leo, if anything, this is going to be his year, and I feel like the whole world feels like that, and I feel like that's how we felt for Wolf of Wall Street, and we were so devastated when he did not get it for Wolf of Wall Street. But Matt Damon, of course, The Martian, probably one of his best since Good Will Hunting, if not his best.
He acted alone the entire time.
Yeah, he was alone.
Just as Leo. So
Fassbender, of course. Redmayne, of course. I know the movie wasn't critically acclaimed, but I thought maybe Johnny Depp might sneak in there for Black Mass.
Yeah, that was an honorable mention.
I was surprised.
Definitely, yeah.
I was surprised. I really enjoyed him in Black Mass, and I thought it was probably one of the first times in a long time where Johnny did something of substance.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I was super surprised by that. And I was reading, even people were upset that Michael B. Jordan was not nominated for Creed.
It's just so tough with all these.
It's kind of the same thing as last year though with Miles Teller. I think he's young.
Yes.
That they know his time's going to come.
Well, look at Eddie. Eddie won last year.
Yeah.
And
he's pretty young.
And Michael Keaton gave the performance of his life in Birdman.
That's true, yeah.
Michael Keaton should have won.
Yes, everyone
disagree,
knows that. Oh my goodness, but I have no problems with this list at all. I hated Trumbo, but Bryan Cranston was fine.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it to Leo. I'm hoping, praying, knocking on wood, doing everything I can.
I think we all are. So Gio, what stands out to you about the Best Leading Actor category?
How they got it right. Every single one of them. I made the prediction last February before John Campea that Leonardo DiCaprio was going to win. You can find that on apocaflixmovies.com. But yeah, I think this is his year. It wasn't If we had to take his last 5 performances, I would say The Revenant wasn't his best performance out of those 5 previous performances. And I think that's what people are taking into consideration because of how good he was in Wolf of Wall Street and how different and slow a movie like The Revenant was. But I still think he's going to win. So, perfect list.
Any snubs?
No.
Anyone? Really?
No.
Wow.
Nobody.
Have you seen all these films? I haven't.
No, that's why.
Okay, yeah. Same thing. So, I don't know. I hate myself for this, but I haven't seen Trumbo and I haven't seen The Danish Girl. Trumbo was like, I was really looking forward to it, but it's not in theaters anymore. So, I don't know. Like, the subject matter is like in my wheelhouse. So, yeah, I am surprised by Matt Damon. I think he deserves it, and he's definitely worthy of the nomination, but I think that last spot was up in the air. I think the other 4 were locks, and then the spot that Matt Damon got was up in the air. Not for my personal likings, just based on the buzz that was going around.
Were there any actors?
I think, I don't think I'd put anyone above him, really, but, Johnny Depp was definitely a consideration.
I'll throw a name out there. How about Oscar Isaac for Ex Machina?
I would say that it was a supporting role.
Yeah,
I think Gleason was the lead.
So would you throw Gleason in there? No?
I think he was really good, but
Just not that level.
Go ahead.
What's up? No,
I
go ahead.
have one. Sam Jackson for The Hateful Eight.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
If it were up to me, I would take Damon out, no disrespect, and put Samuel L. Jackson in there.
Yeah, I saw that movie before you guys, and I was raving about him when I came out of the movie. So
Yeah.
maybe his best role ever, honestly.
yeah, he's
maybe.
fantastic.
But for me, I still got to see Trumbo and The Danish Girl. But going off the 3 performances that I have seen, look, everyone, all you guys know, DiCaprio is my dude. I think he's the best actor that's working today consistently. I mean, a lot of people say Daniel Day-Lewis, but he puts out a movie once every 5 years, so it doesn't really count. But I hope DiCaprio gets it. I'm crossing my fingers, but I think it's going to go to Michael Fassbender. And I can't argue that he gave a better performance. I think he just did a little bit better than DiCaprio, but I still think, I don't know, it's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be between those two. So
yeah, I wouldn't argue against Fassbender winning either. I mean, what he did with the role is crazy good.
Yeah,
so.
but we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Trumbo or The Danish Girl will change my mind. So, all right, well, let's move on to another acting category, and that is Best Actor in a Supporting Role. So we got Christian Bale in The Big Short, Mark Ruffalo in Spotlight, Mark Rylance in Bridge of Spies, Sylvester Stallone in Creed, which a lot of people are happy about, and Tom Hardy in The Revenant. I'll go ahead and start this one. I'm so happy that Tom Hardy got nominated.
Woo!
So I don't think, did he get nominated for a Golden Globe?
Nope.
He didn't. And I mean, I really don't care about the Golden Globes. They're a joke of an award show, but and they're fun to watch, but you don't take them seriously.
Well, it's people getting drunk.
Yeah,
all together. So it's like,
and there's only 60 voters, and they're all people of the foreign press that live in LA. So it's like, the Academy is 6,000 voters, so it's very different and a lot easier to win one of those. But very happy to see Sylvester Stallone in there. I think he's definitely worthy. One of the best supporting roles I've seen all year. Christian Bale was incredible. He arguably could be considered the lead of that film. It's really confusing, but I'm most happy about Mark Ruffalo getting that nomination. Other than maybe another role that we'll talk about in a minute, I think he might have been the best performance hands down all year, even though it's a supporting role. So Mark Ruffalo, I know a lot of awards and critics were, buzzing about Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies. I thought he was really good, but I don't know about. But then again, I can't think of someone else I would take. Maybe Oscar Isaac for Ex Machina. But again, Ex Machina is getting no love other than Best Visual Effects.
I have one. Benicio del Toro for Sicario.
Yeah, that's one.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that, but that not for me. But Gio, what stands out to you about best supporting role for a main actor?
For me, this is the category where they messed up the biggest, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, Mark Ruffalo, fine. I love it. Yeah. Sylvester Stallone in Creed, I absolutely love. Tom Hardy, great. The last two, Mark Rylance and Christian Bale. I am not sold on them being their roles, good enough for an Oscar nomination. I have 3 other people who I think were better. Benicio del Toro in Sicario. Jason Mitchell as Eazy-E in Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, that's a good one.
And Idris Elba for Beast of No Nation. These 3 right here. So this morning, the Oscars are getting a lot of criticism for not being so diverse, which
they do every year.
Which for me, it's like, okay, you have 3 different colored actors who gave arguably better performances than Christian Bale and Mark Rylance, and I mean, I don't know, like, how do you not put at least one of these guys on here? I mean, Jason Mitchell as Eazy-E, you want to talk about a very emotional performance, someone who really dedicated his work towards the character. You know, that end scene where that's very sad. Benicio del Toro completely stole Sicario. Every time he's on screen, you're just like, wow, this guy is bringing it. And the same for Idris Elba. Like, Beast of No Nation was, I think, one of the best movies of the year, and I think what he did was incredible. So they got about more than half of it right, 60%. I would personally take out Mark Rylance and Christian Bale. I love Christian Bale in The Big Short, I do, but I feel like there's others who are more worthy.
How about you, Christiane?
I have no problem with this category at all. I think all 5 are definitely worthy. Some other names that I thought could have been mentioned. Hear me out, Harrison Ford. I mean, it's the first time we've seen him do something good in a long
Honestly,
long time.
I didn't think about that, but I would be totally fine with that.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen him act in a long time.
Yeah,
Care about something and act.
He had such a huge impact in that movie.
Huge impact. It was so beautiful, and I thought that he did awesome.
Wow, that's
The little boy from Room.
Jacob Tremblay.
Tremblay.
I've been reading such great things about him, and
he's definitely worthy.
So worthy. I mean, the reviews that I read about him, I hope that this is not a one and done thing for him.
I hope so. I hope not.
I hope that he has a really big career after this, because from what I read, and I hope I go see Room this week sometime.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I have not.
Oh my goodness, it's so good. It's so damn good.
Yeah, but I don't mind this at all. I mean, Kurt Russell, Hateful Eight. I read that somewhere. Someone's really upset on Twitter this morning.
I would agree with
that's
that.
definitely worthy.
Upset with Kurt Russell not being on there. I mean, I don't have any problems with this at all. I think that I would love to see Mark Ruffalo take it home.
Oh, yeah.
I love Tom Hardy.
I think they're the two. I mean, a lot of people want Sylvester Stallone to take it.
Yeah.
But I think it's between Hardy and Ruffalo. How about
Hardy
you, Jay?
gets a bad rap, though. People really don't like Hardy as an actor.
They're hating on him because he's so good.
Just the way he talks. And the way that he talks, they feel like he's just doing it on
in that
purpose.
movie?
Or in general as an actor.
Oh.
He gets a lot of heat. So I'm happy to see him get some praise now.
He's arguably, in the top 5 working today.
Oh, I love Hardy.
It's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm
Jake,
happy
how do you
for
feel
him.
about the best supporting actor category?
I like it. I mean, I'm really happy to see Tom Hardy in there. I was bummed that he wouldn't get the Golden Globes. I thought he was so good in The Revenant. Probably maybe one of the best we've ever seen him. I love seeing Sylvester Stallone in there. I think he deserves it. What he was able to do with the character after 30 years of playing him 6 times already, I mean, that's a nod to how good he actually did. The layers and the emotion.
Well,
and
working with Ryan Coogler is
it was a huge boost.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to see him on there. Mark Ruffalo, that's a lock. He's probably the single lock of the category. That one specific scene in Spotlight where he just goes crazy after everything, it shot him up to the Oscars. But definitely the questions are Christian Bale and Mark Rylance. Mark Rylance was good, but he didn't really pop like the rest of them did.
I think he's worthy of a nomination.
Yeah, so do I.
I would choose a different name over him.
Yeah, and Christian Bale, I mean, I get it. I feel like they're maybe relying on the name a little bit.
Exactly.
I would definitely throw in Benicio del Toro in there. I thought he did a phenomenal job at Sicario, one of my favorite movies of the year. And but I'm really happy to see Tom Hardy and Sylvester Stallone in there. I would love to see Sly win it. I think that would be so great. The moment, it would mean so much. But I do think it's a race between Ruffalo and Hardy. And I know Ruffalo. People have Ruffalo at the top right now, but do not sleep on Tom Hardy.
No, not at all.
I think The Revenant in general is an Academy type film, and the performances are Academy type films. So the Hardy is definitely up there. So.
And I just realized this, but Ruffalo's on a roll. 2 Best Supporting Actor nominations in a row. Last year for the wrestling movie.
Foxcatcher.
Yeah, Foxcatcher, that's right.
Which he was incredible in.
Yeah.
So he's becoming one of my favorite actors working today, honestly. All right, well, moving on to the actress categories now. So we'll start with Best Actress in a Leading Role. We got Brie Larson in Room, Cate Blanchett in Carol, Charlotte Rampling in 45 Years, Jennifer Lawrence in Joy, and Saoirse Ronan in Brooklyn. Now, for me, I've only seen 2 of these performances, so this is a subject that I can't, comment on to my full extent. But Gio, what do you feel about this Best Actress in a Leading Role category?
Man, I've only seen one. And the one I've seen, I'm glad she's on there, Brie Larson. I feel like she gave, her career is young, but so far the performance of her career, like she was really amazing in that role. Jennifer Lawrence, I'm not surprised to see on there. Cate Blanchett, not surprised to see on there. These other 2 actresses, I don't know a thing about them. I know they're in critically acclaimed movies. What can I say? Brie Larson, good job. You're moving up in the world.
Jake, how do you feel about this category?
This is, it's kind of the shocker category, to be honest. The one that obviously stands out is Charlotte Rampling. Her name has never been dropped anywhere.
Yeah, there's
in any
always
awards.
like one random one every year.
I've really been looking forward to seeing Carol, but I haven't seen it yet. So Cate Blanchett, I think she was a lock. Brie Larson's a lock. She's probably the front runner right now. Jennifer Lawrence, I didn't enjoy Joy as much as other people, but obviously whenever she puts in a role with David O. Russell, she's almost a lock to have some kind of a nomination.
You think
for
she's
anything.
worthy of the nomination?
I don't.
Even though you didn't like the movie?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of other actresses I would put ahead of her.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. I would throw in. She's in the supporting role, and I understand why they threw her in the supporting role, but I feel like Alicia Vikander from The Danish Girl was more of a lead.
That's true.
And she was better than Jennifer Lawrence. I would even throw her from Ex Machina in there as well. Mm-hmm. And I know that they're going to choose the later half of the year movies over the first half or whatever. But,
exactly.
Saoirse Ronan from Brooklyn, I've heard nothing but fantastic things about her. I've heard that she actually kills it, and she's on the rise for sure. So the top 2 are Cate Blanchett and Brie Larson. I think those 2 are the definite locks. But the other 3 are and Saoirse Ronan. But Jennifer Lawrence and Charlotte Rampling are definitely the shockers. I think they can be replaced by a few others. But I think it's I wouldn't even be surprised a three-way race between Blanchett, Larson, and Ronan right now. Yeah. I know people are like, oh, Brie Larson, she won the Golden Globe and everything, but Cate Blanchett is Cate Blanchett.
Definitely,
and Saoirse Ronan, she's just as Brie Larson, she is on the rise and almost a breakout performance for her. And a lot of people love the hell out of Brooklyn.
It got nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, so
I'm actually dying to see it now.
Those 3, this might be the category that people just don't know who's going to win.
Most up in the air. A lot of people are saying Brie Larson, but we'll see. Christiane, how do you feel about this category?
Where is Emily Blunt?
Oh,
I was going to bring that up. Not for myself, but for you guys, because I know you guys love Sicario.
That's very true.
Where is Emily Blunt? She is such an amazing actress, and I'm so tired of her not getting any credit or any recognition for her chops, man.
She's great.
I am really upset that Emily Blunt is not on this list. That is the only thing that really upsets me. Saoirse Ronan, I love her. I don't know if you guys saw Atonement.
I haven't.
Oh my goodness, I loved her.
I've only seen her in that movie Hannah, which was pretty cool.
Ronan. So I'm super excited for Brooklyn. I enjoyed Joy.
So did I. I liked it.
I thought it's just a David O. Russell movie. It's enjoyable. It has humor.
Pretty
it has
good.
Drama.
Yeah.
I thought Jennifer was really good in it as usual.
Of course.
Brie Larson in the room, lock in. Cate Blanchett, lock in. But bye Charlotte and give me Emily. That's my only. I don't even know who Charlotte is.
Exactly. So we can't really comment on it.
Just give me Emily and I'll be happy.
I will add one thing. I get why they did it, but I'm surprised that Rooney Mara was deemed a supporting actress for Carol. I understand why, but from what I've heard, they're both the leads.
It's really hard. It's similar to Christian Bale and Mark Wahlberg in The Fighter.
Yeah.
It's one of those roles where there's 2 leads, but you have to give one the other one.
Or Steve Carell and Mark Ruffalo.
And I also heard that we had heard this in I think it was the Golden Globes or somewhere else, but Maggie Smith from Lady in the Van.
Oh yes.
I heard she
I
was
was
actually
hearing that was
really,
like one of the favorites.
really good in there, and I'm surprised
Yeah.
that she didn't get any kind of recognition anywhere.
Yeah,
so.
and I haven't heard one thing about Charlotte Rampling in
Yeah.
or 45 years
Yeah.
at all year, and it's crazy. I don't even know, is that an American film? Who
I
knows?
don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've only seen 2 of these performances, but I think it's Brie Larson's year. I think she's gonna take it.
I hope so.
Jennifer Lawrence was really good, and you cannot deny Cate Blanchett. Like no surprise if she wins. She's a monster. She's the next Meryl Streep. She really is. So
Speaking of Meryl Streep,
Where
Ricky,
is
Ricky in the
she?
Flash.
no,
I'm
We all
happy.
like-
I mean, I haven't seen it, but
No.
I figured they would like give it to
Where's
her
Rick
just because she's.
Springfield for
yeah.
best supporting actor?
Or how about Marianne Cotillard for Macbeth? I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I've heard
Yeah.
great things about Macbeth.
But so if I'm comparing the 2 performances that I have seen between Brie Larson in a room and Jennifer Lawrence in Joy, I have to go with Brie Larson. She was incredible. She's gonna take it, and she's from Sacramento, California, which is
Yup.
freaking awesome. So yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the Best Supporting Actress category, and we have Alicia Vikander in The Danish Girl, Jennifer Jason Leigh in The Hateful Eight, which I'm actually really happy about that. Kate Winslet in Steve Jobs, Rachel McAdams in Spotlight, and Rooney Mara in Carol. I'll go ahead and start this one. So I haven't seen The Danish Girl and I haven't seen Carol, but I'm very happy with all 3 of the choices that I have seen. Jennifer Jason Leigh was really good in The Hateful Eight. I think she's definitely worthy of that nomination. Rachel McAdams, is this her first nomination?
I think so.
I'm so happy for her.
She's so worthy of it this season,
She's-
though. So worthy.
I know last year we did our top 5 actresses working in Hollywood, and she was my number 2. So I love Rachel McAdams. I don't think she's gonna take it, but I'm so happy for her. But I've said it all year. Kate Winslet in Steve Jobs is the best performance I've seen all year. For me, it's so people underappreciate how hard it is to do an accent, a whole movie, and express emotion and do the facial expressions while still making sure you're doing the accent. I can only imagine how hard it is. And for me, and it was so cool to see her character stand up to Steve Jobs so many times. She was like, her and Jeff Daniels' character were the only characters that, stood up to him. And I think she's going to take it, but I would not be mad if any of these women won, honestly. And I still need to see Carol, and I still need to see The Danish Girl, but I'm very happy with this list. Gio, how do you feel about the Best Actress in the Supporting Role category?
Honestly, Alicia Vikander could have been nominated
For
twice.
Ex Machina.
Like she could have had
Honestly.
2 nominations in the best.
But then she
supporting
would have
actress.
it would have split her votes. So
Probably, yeah. Let's see, Jennifer Jason Leigh. I love it. She was phenomenal in The Hateful Eight. Kate Winslet, I agree with you. Like her
So
back
good.
and forth with Michael Fassbender, really good. Rachel McAdams, sure. I mean, I can't really think of anyone else who would, kind of overtake her spot.
Emily
But
Blunt.
That's not to say she wasn't good. Yeah,
Where's
I mean,
Emily?
you could throw Emily Blunt in that one too. And I haven't seen Carol or The Danish Girl yet, but hear a lot of good things about it. So yeah, no real surprises on it.
Jake?
No, I think it's a solid category. I think obviously Rachel McAdams is kind of a shocker because we haven't really heard anything about her showing up as a nomination. I love seeing it though because she was great. I haven't seen Carol, which is unfortunate. I've heard Rooney Mara is just incredible, which she always is. Jennifer Jason Leigh, really cool seeing her in there for The Hateful Eight. She did a fantastic job with that character. The character was psychotic and just awesome. She did a great job. But, as Jacob said with Kate Winslet, she did a fantastic job. His best performance of the year. My best performance is Alicia Vikander. I know we've been saying Ex Machina, but dude, her and The Danish Girl, she is so good in that movie.
I can't wait to see it just
For
because
me,
of her.
she overtook Eddie Redmayne in the movie. Like
That's what
she
a lot
was
of people
that
are
good,
saying.
and the uphill thing that she's going right now. I mean, her 2015 was fantastic. She is on the verge of being the actress in Hollywood, like the actress. Like she is killing roles left and right in every type of role. Doing drama, sci-fi, comedy, action. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., drama, thriller type thing, and Burnt. Like all this kind of stuff. Comedy. She's really doing all these different genres, and I think it's a two-way race right now between Alicia Vikander and Kate Winslet, and I wouldn't be surprised if either of them won. I would love for Alicia Vikander to win, I think she deserves it because of the 2015 she had. But I would not be surprised if Kate Winslet wins because her performance as Steve Jobs was fantastic. The way, like you said it, you described it best. The way she stands up to Steve Jobs and Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It crushes. So.
I'm surprised you were not pissed off Daisy Ridley's not nominated.
Yeah,
I would.
right.
Don't get me wrong. I would love to see it, but
It'll never happen.
That'll never happen. I
happen.
mean, maybe down the road,
For a
maybe
different
maybe like a Ryan Johnson Star Wars. 'Cause I think that movie.
Hey, who
that
knows?
movie could end up being a Academy type film. But
I think
plus,
so.
she would be a lead actress, bro. Come on.
Yeah, for sure. Christiane, how do you feel about this category?
I'm so happy for Rachel McAdams.
Yeah,
I think
she's
that she's
amazing.
amazing. I mean, the whole cast was amazing. They could have all been nominated, and I would have been ecstatic for all of them. There's one girl who I just remembered. I watched the movie way earlier this year, and when I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, she has to get some sort of award recognition this season, and she hasn't. Olivia Cooke and Mia Earl and The Dying Girl. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my list.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. When I watched it, I was like, this girl is amazing. She's going to get nominated.
Well, she's definitely on the map now.
Oh,
so.
man. Oh, she was amazing. So I'm kind of upset about her. I was hoping that maybe, long shot, I would have loved it. But, I mean, they're all pretty solid. Kate Winslet, of course. Alicia Vikander, I saw her for the first time in Testament of Youth. And
Oh my God, that movie!
Instantly fell in love. Instantly fell in love with
She's
her.
amazing.
And
Jacob,
then-
that's the type of movie that you would love.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
you would love that movie.
Oh,
You keep saying that.
No, I'm
It's
telling
so
you, dude.
good. You would really.
What is,
It's
I'll
good.
ask you guys later, but we'll see.
It's good. It's
I'm gonna
really,
watch
really
it.
good.
I just need to sit in my house and watch movies all day.
After,
You have tomorrow.
After
I know. That's what I'm
yeah.
gonna do.
After I saw her in that, I IMDb'd her and I watched every possible thing that I could
Wow.
that she was in because I fell in love.
Did you like her in Ex Machina? I mean, obviously. You
I
haven't seen it?
hated Ex Machina.
Oh,
What?
all right. Let's not talk about that. No, I mean,
hated
go ahead.
it. I'm sorry. I
hated
really
it?
did not
Continue
enjoy
on,
it.
like,
I
don't
did
wanna know
not.
that. Oh my God.
I really did not enjoy it at all. Rooney Mara, I just feel like anything that she does is just, I love her.
She's on the verge of being something very
I
special.
really love
Rooney
her.
Mara.
Rooney Mara?
I love
Oh,
her.
yeah.
I like her way more than her sister.
debatable.
Kate.
It's
but-
debatable.
Oh, I don't enjoy Kate.
No, I mean, I think Rooney Mara is a better actress, but
Yeah, of course.
it all depends on your personal tastes.
But I'm hoping for Alicia. I mean, I really, really hope that she gets.
I
mean,
think she's gonna take it.
I
think
think
either
she
her or
is, too.
Winslet. Her
Well,
or Winslet.
this is kind of like
I think she is too.
it's kind of like
It's
it's almost
tough.
like Eddie Redmayne last year. She kind of came out of nowhere this year. 2015 was her year, where Eddie
Yeah.
Redmayne 2014 was his year.
And I think, yeah, and I don't think Eddie Redmayne's going to win, but I think him being in the movie and him giving such a great performance and her being better than him is going to play into her winning. So I think it's amazing. I'm
Hope
happy
her
for.
and her boyfriend Michael Fassbender.
Yeah,
win.
can you imagine the
They
power
both
couple?
win.
I tweeted that the other day, but they are the power couple. Can you
Yeah.
Are
imagine
they
if they win?
together?
Yes,
Yeah.
they have been together. They
Are
are
you
together.
serious?
Yes.
You not seen the Golden Globes?
Yeah.
They're together.
Who? Michael Fassbender and Alicia Vikander?
Yes,
Yes.
they've
Oh
been
my
together for a
goodness.
few years.
Yes.
What an
Isn't that-
attractive couple.
I
That's
know. What a
pretty-
But
talented
imagine,
couple.
imagine if they
They
both
were supposed
win.
to be in Assassin's Creed together, right?
She was in talks. They're,
Yeah.
they're in a movie coming out this year called
Dude.
Light Between the Oceans or something like that.
Yeah.
But could you imagine if they both won?
Wow.
The hardware bringing
Hey.
home to that house.
Like sometimes I'm like celebrity couples. I'm like that person's with that person, but I totally understand why they're both very talented and both very attractive. So nothing but good
Good for
stuff.
them.
Yeah. So all these acting categories are great. A few snubs here and there, but we'll see how it all goes down on the Oscars next month. So moving on to Best Animated Feature. Now, I don't think we've all even seen all of these movies, but let's go ahead and list it. So we got Anna Mona Lisa, which is getting a lot of buzz. I actually really want to see it. I have not seen it, and I'm really looking forward to watching it. Forgive me, I am going to mispronounce the name of this movie, but O Menino Ao Mundo.
Hey, that's
I don't
pretty
know if I
good.
got that right,
That's pretty
but I don't know anything about that movie, but it's nominated. And then, of course, we got Inside Out, which should be nominated for Best Picture. And then Shaun the Sheep movie, which I've heard great things about. And then When Marnie Was There. So let's go ahead and start with you, Christiane. How do you feel about this Best Animated category?
Do we even have to discuss this?
We don't,
I
because we
mean-
know what.
We know who's gonna take it home,
Yeah.
and we know they're super deserving of it. I mean, I don't know if you guys have The Good Dinosaur, but I bawled like a baby. and
I really
enjoyed
like
it.
The Good Dinosaur.
But I don't think
not
we'll-
best picture worthy though.
But animated picture, I mean,
Yeah.
they would never double a Pixar,
Pixar,
though.
why not?
That's too much power in Hollywood.
Yeah.
They would not do that. But they're just, if anything besides Inside Out takes it, then I'm boycotting.
I'm surprised the Peanuts movie's not on here.
Really?
Honestly, I haven't seen it, but I heard it's really good. Jake, does anything stand out to you about this category?
Nothing stands out to me, but don't give Inside Out the
No,
the
I
win
think
yet.
Anna Mona Lisa is
Exactly.
is
I would not
challenging
be
it.
surprised if Anna Mona Lisa wins.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now, man.
and
Buzz
it's a very
around that
innovative film. It's made with puppets.
The buzz around that film is remarkable.
Have you heard what's involved in the movie?
I have not.
There's a sex scene.
Really?
Yes, and I heard it's very uncomfortable to watch, and it's like a full-out sex scene. So that's very weird.
Wow.
For me,
Like Team America?
I don't think it's gonna be comedic like that, but it's gonna be puppets having sex.
I mean,
so
I've only seen Inside Out on the list,
Yeah,
and
me too.
as I've said before, I've only seen it once. I didn't have the best experience because theater with loud kids kind of gets annoying. I'm looking forward to seeing it again, but it's a two-headed race, Anna Mona Lisa and Inside Out right now.
yeah, I think so. I haven't seen any of the other movies other than Inside Out. I'm going to watch Anna Mona Lisa, and I'm gonna watch Shaun the Sheep just because I want to have some perspective going into the Oscars and not just say Inside Out needs to win because it's the only movie I've seen. But Inside Out is in my top 5 movies of the year, and I think it should have been nominated for Best Picture. So definitely Anna Mona Lisa is gaining some buzz, but I think Inside Out's going to take it. Gio, does anything stand out to you?
No, I've only seen one of these movies.
Like all of us.
Yeah. But I think going for Inside Out, it's Pixar's best film since Toy Story 3, which was 2010.
Yeah.
There was legit concerns that Pixar was done, that their best years were behind them, and then boom, like Inside Out comes out of nowhere.
And The Good Dinosaur is a solid film. I think with both of those, they made huge statements.
Is it better than Cars? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Cars
What,
was
Inside
not
Out?
that good.
No. Good Dinosaur.
Good, yeah.
Oh,
Cars is one of the weaker, even though it's got a lot
The
of praise.
first one is not bad, but the second one is horrible.
Yeah.
But no, it's better than the first Cars, which I actually like the first Cars,
Yeah.
but it's better.
So that's that.
Yeah,
Inside
we'll
Out.
see. I mean, I got to watch some more of these movies before I, just give it to Inside Out. But I'm pretty sure Inside Out is going to take it. So let's move on to Best Cinematography, which is an interesting category. So we have Carol, we have Mad Max Fury Road, we have Sicario, we have The Hateful Eight, and we have The Revenant. Some beautifully shot films. I heard you talking about cinematography earlier. So what did you think about it, Christiane? This category.
I personally am shooting for Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
I think it is
It's beautiful.
gorgeous. Even if it's not your genre, even if it's not your type of movie, anything, you cannot deny how beautiful this movie is. And oh my god, I could watch it every day.
Yeah, it's
just
a
so
beautiful film.
It's so beautiful to watch. It's, man, I just can't even describe it. I haven't seen Carol yet, so can't really say anything. Sicario, even like the stills on Sicario that you see online, I think are just gorgeous.
Yeah, definitely.
Gorgeous. The Revenant, I mean, without a doubt, it's going to be nominated. There's no shot in all natural light. How can you not nominate that?
Yeah,
that is insane. That is so insane.
This is a tough category, I think.
So tough.
Yeah.
I would love to see Mad Max take it, but natural lighting, you can't beat that.
Yeah, Gio, how do you feel about the best cinematography category?
I'm surprised Spectre wasn't on there.
Really?
I thought that had some pretty good cinematography.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, I don't know if it would beat out any of the Carol or even Sicario, but that was pretty good. It's between Mad Max Fury Road and The Revenant for me. I mean, Mad Max Fury Road, you think about the shots of those desert and the scale of the picture, and at night when they're driving around at night, just those nighttime shots are pretty good. But dude, Emmanuel Lubezki, he's won it 2 years in a row. I mean, I think he'll three-peat this year. Honestly, natural light, untouched remote locations. I mean, come on.
What was the film before Birdman again?
Gravity?
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
3P, baby. 3P.
yeah, I got Emmanuel taking it this year.
Yeah, I haven't seen Carol, but all four of the other movies are beautiful, honestly. If The Hateful Eight took place outside more, I think it would take it, honestly, because that movie was beautiful in the snow and the 70 millimeter and everything. But it's definitely between Sicario's really beautifully shot film, but I think it's between Fury Road and The Revenant again. And it really depends. They're very different. And I do think The Revenant's going to take it, but I will not be surprised if Fury Road takes it. Jake, how do you feel about this category?
It's a stacked category. It's ridiculous.
Definitely, yeah.
The Revenant and Mad Max are definitely the front runners, I think. I mean, The Revenant, all natural light, just remarkable. Mad Max Fury Road, the kind of picture that they were able to capture with that kind of film is crazy. But Roger Deakins for Sicario, that dude, man, he knows what he's doing. Just a little history, but last year he was nominated for Unbroken. The year before, he was nominated for Prisoners. The year before that, he was nominated for Skyfall. 2011, he was nominated for True Grit. I mean, it just kind of he was nominated for No Country for Old Men, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Wow. Holy
like,
crap.
Those are all his nominations. So I would not go past saying that Roger Deakins could take this for Sicario. Like, I get that The Natural Light with Emmanuel Lubezki, like, it's hardly ever been done before, and the way they're able to capture it on film is just, it's beautiful to watch. But Sicario, man, it has a really cool shade to it in the type of film it is. But I think right now the two frontrunners are definitely Mad Max and The Revenant.
I just think about that shot where Leonardo DiCaprio is looking up, and then you see the cliff and the snowfall, and the way they capture it.
I think it's gonna be hard to beat that.
It's tough. It's tough.
But I mean, honestly, any one of these films can win. Yeah. And like Jacob said, I think the fact that The Hateful Eight all took place in a cabin might hurt it a little bit.
I think it will.
But all five of them, they're all very strong.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And when I mentioned the categories we're going to talk about, I didn't mention directing, but we're definitely going to talk about directing. So let's go on to that category. So for Best Director, the nominations are George Miller for Mad Max Fury Road, Lenny Abrahamson for Room, Tom McCarthy for Spotlight, Adam McKay for The Big Short, and Alejandro Inarritu for The Revenant. I'll go ahead and take this one. I told you guys, I think that the best directed film is Room. So I think Lenny Abrahamson should win. But I think it's going to be either George Miller or Tom McCarthy who does win. So I don't really see any snubs. All five of these are definitely worthy. Jake, what stood out to you?
Nothing really stood out. I mean, like you said, all five of them are very worthy. It is surprising not to see Quentin Tarantino on there because he's usually on there.
That's very true.
He's usually on there. But I'm not surprised because, I mean, it was
who
honestly...
Who do you take out, though?
I would probably take out Adam McKay. I know a lot of people love The Big Short and love what he did with the film, but I think Adam McKay is probably at the bottom of the list. Yeah. One film for me that I think should be getting a lot more praise. It's just hurt by Ex Machina, man. It's just hurt by its release. I think Alex Garland.
Hey,
what
and
he did.
Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, and Ryan Coogler for Creed. Yes, it's very true. But I think, like you had said, Lenny. I haven't seen Room yet. Lenny Abrahamson. I think.
You haven't seen Room?
I have not seen Room yet. I think that was his first. Was that his first film?
I'm not positive.
So I think he deserves it. I think it's a two-headed race right now. I would love to see George Miller take it. I think he deserves it. But I think the Academy is just going for Inarritu or Tom McCarthy, and I think Tom McCarthy deserves it. What he did with that film, the subject matter, the build that took place through the entire film. The performances he was able to get it was remarkable all the way around. Honestly, I'd be pretty surprised if he didn't win.
He's the favorite.
I think it's his award. But again, it's a stacked category, and Inarritu or Miller, they would deserve it just as well. So great category, that's for sure. Great category.
For sure. Christiane?
I think Tom McCarthy is for sure going to take it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in my opinion, but I am so happy for Adam McKay.
Definitely.
I am so happy for him. I am a huge comedy fan. It's my favorite genre, TV, movies,
that's
everything.
awesome.
And I am so happy for him. And I cannot wait. I hope all of his friends show up and it becomes a funny award.
That would be incredible.
I hope Judd Apatow is his date, and let's just make this a comedy affair. George Miller, I would love to see him win just because he's George, and who wouldn't want to see that?
I think he's the dark horse. I think George Miller could definitely win.
I think it'd be so great to see. honestly be happy to see any of them win.
Yeah.
Alejandro, I'd be the least happy because give someone else a chance. Come on. But Tom McCarthy is definitely my top pick, and I think that he deserves it the most. But yeah, Adam McKay.
You know, we talk about Miller being a dark horse, but for the entire Oscars, Mad Max could really come away with a lot of awards.
Make a
Like,
big statement.
they
Well,
can-
it has
it
the
can-
second most nominations
It can make
after
a
The Revenant.
huge
Yeah.
statement, and
Yeah.
like I love The Revenant, or I didn't love it, but I like The Revenant. But I feel like maybe they're giving it too much praise. I feel like it maybe didn't deserve as much. It's a great film, it is, but it's not on the level of like something like Birdman,
Dude,
like his last.
A lot of
project.
the times, the Oscars rely on the names involved.
Yeah,
and it's
and
the
they-
best director from last year. It's Leo. It's Tom Hardy. It's like
Yeah,
has
so
everything
that
going
does
for
kind
it,
of
you know?
bug, but again, back to Mad Max. This film could walk away with a ton of recognition from the Oscars.
I think
which
it's
would be
going to
great.
win like a lot of the technical awards.
Yeah.
I think it's going to for sure. Gio, what stands out to you about the best director category?
No Ridley Scott for The Martian.
True.
No Danny Boyle for Steve Jobs.
True.
No F. Gary Gray for Straight Outta Compton.
True.
No Ryan Coogler for Creed. Out of those four, I feel like at least one of them deserved to be on this list. I love George Miller, Mad Max. George Miller, Alejandro, and Tom McCarthy, they each have something going for them. With Tom McCarthy, it's the story and the pacing. George Miller, it's the direction and what he was able to do with that action spectacle. With Alejandro, it's the cinematic experience. It's what he was, the circumstances of the film, the performances too. So I think they all have something going for them. It's just, what do these Academy voters value more for their directing? What do they look for more within a director? But do you guys feel like either Creed, Straight Outta Compton, Steve Jobs, or The Martian,
I think the
should've
two
should've been
are
on this
Ryan
list?
Coogler and Ridley Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to see Ridley Scott on there.
I mean,
They don't want him to talk for too long. That's all. You guys see what he did at the.
Yes.
But that was
No, that has nothing to do with
Yeah.
it. They already had the nominations in by then.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, good list. Would have liked to seen some other directors in there, but,
Yeah, I think it's a very solid list. One of the best categories. So we're gonna run through these last few categories really quick. We're gonna talk about best original score. I think it's definitely worthy of talking about. So we got Thomas Newman for Bridge of Spies, Carter Burwell for Carol, Johan Johansson for Sicario, John Williams for Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and Ennio Morricone for The Hateful Eight. I think it comes down to two. I think it's Star Wars and The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
I think. I haven't seen Carol. Obviously, I don't even remember the Bridge of Spies or Sicario score, so those aren't as memorable, but it comes down to John Williams and Morricone, and I don't know who's going to take it. This is the one that's up in the air the most for me. Jake, how do you feel about it?
I think you're right. I think it's the two-headed race right now. But, dude, Star Wars, like, come on. I know I'm being a little biased right now, but John Williams at his age,
But it's
coming
hard.
back to
It's
the
too
new,
iconic.
I know, yeah.
It's crazy.
And, coming back to the saga that started it all, years later at his age and doing this and kicking off the trilogy one last time. And we talked about it. The Rey theme for us, Jacob, is the best theme of all year.
Ray's theme
And
is
it's
incredible.
magical.
So beautiful.
And
I bought the
we won't get over
soundtrack.
it.
Cleverness of it all.
Yeah, so
It's amazing.
what he was able to capture, it may not be the best Star Wars score, but it sure as hell stays in our mind.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ennio Morricone, what he did with The Hateful Eight. I mean, we listened to that.
So good.
We listened to that song from the very beginning the
So
other day,
good.
and it's so crazy good. And so I think it's between those two. I would be happy with either of them, but I would love to see John Williams to win.
Christiane, what stands out to you?
Personally, I think that Star Wars: Force Awakens is John Williams' weakest of
Yeah.
all his
Oh,
Star Wars
really?
scores. Oh yeah, nothing
So-
was stood out, but Ray's theme was really the only thing. And
Yeah.
I
No, I
am
agree.
a huge movie score person.
Yeah.
I am really upset that Michael Giacchino did not get nominated for Inside Out because
me too.
Inside Out.
That is one of my favorite scores
Inside
of the
Out,
year.
one of my favorite scores of the year.
Me too, that's
And the
crazy.
fact that he is not on there, I'm biased.
That
Michael
main
Giacchino
score is incredible.
my all-time favorite composer, so I'm biased,
That's-
but
damn it, I didn't even realize that.
oh my god,
Inside Out should be on there.
That totally should be on
Yeah.
there. And Neo, I mean, he's God. His his Western scores are some of the
Amazing.
best scores
Yeah.
I've ever heard in my entire life. But yeah, I mean, I'm totally fine with all this except for Michael Giacchino for Inside Out not being on here.
I mean, I haven't seen Carol, but I don't know. I take Bridge of Spies out and put Inside Out or something.
Oh yeah,
Gio, what stands out
Can't
to you?
believe it.
This is definitely a two-headed race. Look, John Williams is a name among Academy of voters, but don't sleep on Ennio Morricone. That guy is known for his Western themes and scores. I think he's gonna win it, Ennio Morricone, and here's why. When we all saw The Hateful Eight in theaters, before the film played, that score played, and me in particular, I was sitting in my seat, just like, man, this music is, like really good. It has that horror theme. And it raised my anticipation for The Hateful Eight. I think it raised everyone's anticipation even higher. And as a result, it kind of hurt their reception after watching the movie because the score was just so good. It got you in the mood. It gave you a tone. It kind of, lets you know what you're in for. And so, I mean, I think that paired with John Williams, maybe not his best music, like there was no Duel of Fates or Han Solo and Leia thing.
I think
going
with
on.
time it's gonna grow on us, but right now it's not as strong as the
Right
previous
now,
ones.
yeah.
No.
So I mean, I think Hateful Eight's gonna take it.
Yeah,
In
it's
my
definitely
opinion,
between those two. All right, moving on to visual effects. So we got Ex Machina, Mad Max Fury Road, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, The Martian, and The Revenant. I mean, it's really tough. I mean, these are all good.
This might be the most perfect.
I think Mad Max Fury Road takes it by a long shot.
Yeah,
honestly,
I agree.
Yeah. So Jake, how do you feel about it?
It's a tough one. I mean, Mad Max for sure, but I feel like it's between Ex Machina and Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah, I think the realism in Ex Machina, even though it was smaller than the rest of the films, is very, very well done.
Well, it looks so real.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars, yes, a lot of it was practical effects, but there were a ton of visual effects, and a lot of them were really good.
Like when they froze the ray gun.
Yeah, like there were a
it's really
ton of good visual effects in that film.
Definitely.
All the battle scenes. Like, how can you not go without those? Like X-wings versus TIE fighters. That was crazy. But Mad Max. I mean, it's honestly, you can go between any of them. I mean, The Martian. There's
They're
some
all
great stuff in
worthy.
there.
Actually, The Martian could take it too.
Yeah, like The
honestly.
Revenant.
It
Like,
really could.
The Revenant. Oh, that's cool, but I think The Revenant's more of a cinematography factor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's between Ex Machina and Star Wars personally.
Yeah. Christiane?
I think it's Mad Max, but one of my favorite scenes of the year was when Matt Damon was Iron Manning it through space in The Martian.
that's
Oh,
I
awesome.
thought that was
It's
gorgeous
awesome.
and
Yeah.
it was beautiful. I loved that, and Star Wars, but I have to give it to Mad Max.
Yeah.
I would vote for Mad Max.
If I had to
personally.
choose, it'd be Mad Max.
Me too,
For sure.
definitely.
Gio?
I mean, The Martian has like some of the best looking NASA outfits I've ever seen, and the landscape of Mars was awesome. But Mad Max Fury Road, I mean, everything that you saw action wise, like 90% of it, because there was some CGI, but 90% of it was actual real stunts, real cars getting blown up. That's why it had that $150 million budget. It was because like everything that's going on, like guys, let's get this take. Everyone's driving fast and everything, and George Miller's able to pan the camera around and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about technical stuff, but I think Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the favorite, but any of these could win, honestly. So just moving on real quick to the writing categories. So there's two writing categories. There's Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Original Screenplay. So for Best Adapted Screenplay, we have Brooklyn, Carol, Room, The Big Short, and The Martian. Again, haven't seen Brooklyn. I haven't seen Carol. If I had to choose one, and The Big Short, great adaptation. The Martian, great adaptation. But I think Room's going to take it. Room's one of my favorite movies all year. So, Gio, what stands out to you about Best Adapted Screenplay?
I'm right there with you. I've only seen 3 of these. The Big Short. I mean, I haven't read the books, so
Yeah,
it's
I
not
mean,
like
of course. I mean, we haven't read these books. I mean,
But
I don't know if you guys have.
I have a really good feeling about Drew Goddard and what he did for The Martian.
And I would love to see him win an Oscar.
Yes,
He's
yes.
incredible.
Part of Ridley Scott's success in that film is just having something so good to work with. So I'm personally picking Drew Goddard.
Christiane?
I think The Martian also. I think it's between The Room and The Martian, hands down. And I would love to see The Martian get some recognition from the Academy.
That would
So
be
I
its
would
big
love it.
award if
Yeah,
it won,
I
because
think
I
it
don't think
would
Matt
too.
Damon's gonna win.
Matt Damon, I would love to see him win, but I don't think he is either. I think that this could be its one big award of the night.
Yeah, and that
its biggest chance.
they should be satisfied with that because that's a big win. Jake?
I've only seen 2 of them, so I've only seen The Martian and The Big Short, but so I would have to go off The Martian for that.
Okay.
Drew Degard, great writing, fantastic adaptation from the book. But for not seeing the other films, the other 3 are probably the 3 that are in the lead over the other 2. So it's up in the air right now, and I think it's between Room, Carol, or Brooklyn. So.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so moving on to Best Original Screenplay, which this is a category I'm really excited about. I'm really excited about this. So, we got Bridge of Spies, of course, and then we got Ex Machina, we got Inside Out, we got Spotlight, and Straight Outta Compton. So for me, I'm really upset that Ex Machina, Inside Out didn't get more nominations, but this is the category that I think one of them could win and then, get some more recognition. But I think Spotlight's going to take it, though.
I think that this category is the biggest snub of the Oscars also, to not see a Quentin original screenplay on
You're
here.
absolutely right.
I
Go ahead
think
and
is
elaborate on
the
that.
biggest Oscar snub of the
I didn't
year.
even think about that.
I mean,
Take Bridge of Spies out.
when's the last time that we've seen Quentin write something and not get nominated
It's the
for
best dialogue of the
Oh.
year. There's no question.
You can actually I don't want to say this, but torrent a screenplay of his and read them.
Wow.
And they're pretty gnarly. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that is the biggest snub of the year, is not having a
agree.
Quentin
I
screenplay.
didn't even think
And
about that.
I imagine Quentin just pissed as hell somewhere.
He's pissed.
Because how much he loves The Hateful Eight. Like, for him to say he's not going to make it and then end up making it, that
He's so
he loves
passionate
it.
about it,
He
yeah.
loved it so much. So he's pissed somewhere, but
Well, he's now writing the play adaptation for the film.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick a winner, who do you think is going to win?
probably Spotlight. I say
Yeah.
Spotlight.
I mean, I want Ex Machina or Inside Out to win, but I
Yeah.
think it's going to be
I think
Spotlight.
it'd be Spotlight also.
Jake, what stands out to you?
Yeah, I'm gonna echo her sentiments towards Quentin Tarantino not being nominated. I think that's a big shame. I don't think Bridge of Spies should be on there.
Yeah.
A great adaptation or great writing by the Coen brothers and Charman, but what Quentin Tarantino did with the Hateful Eight is just remarkable.
Well, you said it's the best dialogue you've ever heard.
It's
It's
probably one of if not the best dialogue I've ever heard.
Which
in
one?
film.
Yeah.
Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
But between these films, I think Spotlight has it locked. But I want to see Ex Machina win. I think it deserves a win. I think it's the best film of the year. Not my favorite. Star Wars is, but the solely best film of the year. The writing by Alex Garland, just insane.
Yeah.
And he deserves a nomination, but I also think he deserves the win.
I would just be so happy if Inside Out takes the Best Animated Award and then Ex Machina takes this award. I'll be happy. But Gio, what stands out to you about Best Original Screenplay?
Well, real quickly, what stands out to me is that Aaron Sorkin's name is not in any of these.
Oh my goodness!
I didn't even think
How
about
do you
Aaron
not
Sorkin.
get
Oh,
for
man.
Steve Jobs?
Wow.
Really?
That might be the biggest snub.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Jeez.
Quentin snubbed.
Jeez.
The Academy has some balls this year. Let's just say that.
Academy is
Wow.
just take your meds, Jesus. So
wow.
I'm a little bit disappointed Beast of No Nation is not on this one because again the story of a little kid going to war is just it's so tragic, so heartfelt. I would have taken Straight Outta Compton on there and put that one or Bridge of Spies. Never mind, Straight Outta Compton you say. But I mean out of this list, God, I love Ex Machina. I do. I really
Yeah.
do. But I think I'm giving it to Inside Out. I think.
Wow.
The originality, like.
Dude, I
Try
want
com-
it to win
try
so
coming up
bad.
with
To
story
think that
about-
feelings have feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Try coming up with a story about your feelings. Okay.
We've already seen it though. No, I'm just kidding. I was gonna say it's
Get
the
outta
animated
here.
version of an Inception.
A dream within a dream within a
Right.
dream.
Right.
Yeah, these are all definitely worthy. I mean, Bridge of Spies is worthy, but not over some other categories.
Definitely.
So, well, that'll do it for the categories that we decided to discuss. I want to ask you guys, was there anything else regarding these nominations that stood out to you guys?
Yeah.
Gio, I know you want to talk about something.
Best original song. Where is that? I'm trying to look.
Which
for
maybe shouldn't even be a category, I think. But
yeah.
we'll
it.
see.
You pick Sam Smith's "Writing on the Wall" over "See You Again" by Wiz Khalifa and Chris.
I thought that was
Charlie
a song
Puth,
that
Charlie
that
Puth.
would get nominated for sure. I
You
can't
talk about a
believe it didn't.
song that It elevated that moment at the end of Furious 7, like a moment that you would not find in a Fast and Furious movie. Like,
and it crossed over to mainstream too. Like
and it
a lot
took
of
over the world. I mean,
Wasn't
I
it
had students in Vietnam that were 4 years old and don't speak English.
Yeah.
And every time I put that song on, they sang the chorus perfectly.
how much of an effect it had on the whole entire
whole world.
yeah, I think it hit the
Yeah.
Billboard like number. I don't know if it hit number
That's
1, but it was like in the
crazy. I
top
totally
5.
forgot
They got a
about
freaking
that.
song from 50 Shades of Grey on here.
Earned
oh my
it.
goodness.
I don't know how.
I don't even remember that song.
That right there is it's one of the bigger snubs. Like, come on, like there was no song that was more impactful.
Totally
last
forgot
year.
about that.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I want.
And we haven't heard most of these songs anyway.
Well, I mean, Writings on the
yeah.
Wall. We listened.
Other
to,
than
which
that,
was
yeah, and
forgettable.
I'm sure I've heard 50 Shades of Grey one, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Anything stand out to you guys? Anything else?
Nope.
So we had talked about Charlotte Ramping in supporting actress role in Jennifer Lawrence. I have 2 replacements. Emily Blunt with Sakara, we've already talked about. Charlize Theron from Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, what?
I think that she could have easily been nominated from Fury Road.
Let me take a look at that list.
I think she was better than Jennifer Lawrence from Joy or Charlotte Ramping for 45 years personally. So that's definitely one. But I kind of went back to it. I'm like, it goes either way, but I feel like Star Wars could have been nominated for Best Picture.
Honestly, yeah.
I think it could have been.
I'm not totally upset.
No,
that it
neither
didn't.
am I. Neither am I at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
And I understand why it's not, but I think it could have been on there.
And
for
from
sure.
everything we've seen about Carol on this list, like it being nominated, like it missed Best Picture. But what about Todd Haynes, the director, for Best Director?
Yeah,
especially after all the nominations it got. I
Yeah.
mean, so those are a couple stuff that I thought of.
You guys are gonna hate me, but I don't think Star Wars: The Force Awakens should have been
Well,
nominated.
it was
for
low
Best
on your
Picture.
list,
It
so
wasn't nominated, so you can go ahead and be happy about that.
I am very happy about that.
All right, well, that's going to do it for Apocaflix Movie News, our special on the Oscar nominations for 2015. I want to thank everyone who joined me today. Gio Ramos, where can they find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter at GioRamos24, and I seriously hope Chris Rock makes some kind of joke about the Academy and
Oh, yeah, I forgot
the
he's
whole-
hosting. That's
the
awesome.
whole race thing and all that.
Yeah, Jake, where can they find you online?
Twitter, Instagram at Qui-Gon Jake. Make sure to check out our Padawan podcast, the All Star Wars show. We're doing our first show of 2016 later on today, so look out for that.
And I want to thank our special guest, Christiane. Thank you for joining us. Where can they find you online?
Thanks for having me. You can find me on Twitter at Christiane Lely, and once again, Alan Rickman, today was for you.
Yeah, rest in
Always.
peace to Alan Rickman and David Bowie. And I'm your host, Jacob Bartley. You can find me on Twitter at Governor Bartley, anywhere on social media at Jacob Bartley. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please hit that like button. We could really use the help. Thank you all, and we'll see you next time.